Yes. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. We just had to come live for this particular, uh, on this particular time, just to talk about the recalls of the Triple C members of Parliament. Yes, so on the 6th of October 2023, um, the Chief Elections Officer was notified by the Parliament, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Section 39.3 of the Electoral Act, Chapter 2.13, as amended, provides that a vacancy in the membership of Parliament which now exists shall be notified to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission in writing. Accordingly, I hereby notify you that a vacancy exists in the membership, okay, in the membership of Parliament by reason of Honorable Velisiwe Nkomo, who was a member of Parliament by virtue of Section 124.1b of the Constitution, proportional representative, having ceased to be a member of the Citizens Coalition for Change Party on the 4th of October 2023. Okay. So this is a response by the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate Modenda, to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. So yes, the Speaker has acted on the letter that was done by Sengezo Shabangu in from Atebeleland, saying that these members are no longer members of the Triple C and are therefore recalled from Parliament. And I'm sure everybody saw a post that we did earlier on the letters or the correspondence that went ahead between the Triple C and Parliament on the 11th of September, after the swearing in of the members of Parliament under the Triple C. The Triple C leader, Advocate Nelson Chamisa, did a letter to Parliament indicating that any correspondence regarding any Triple C member of Parliament listed in the general notice that was given um, is to be directed to his office, which is the office of the president. It also highlighted that any communication or notification regarding any Triple C member of Parliament listed in the said General Notice 1380D of 2023 and General Notice 1380E of 2023 to Parliament shall come from the same office. And number 3 said, for the avoidance of any doubt, no other person is authorized to correspond or communicate with Parliament concerning Triple C members in Parliament. And for ease of reference, the list of Triple C members of the National House of Assembly is attached hereto and marked as Annexure A, whereas the list of Triple C senators is attached hereto and marked as Annexure B. And yes, they did another letter to the Speaker of Parliament highlighting the same, that there has not been any changes to the communication channels between the Triple C and Parliament, and that any communication regarding the members of Parliament for Triple C were supposed to be done via the office of the president of the Triple C. And they did a letter on the 4th of October highlighting that Sengezo Chawangu is not a member of Triple C and cannot provide, avail, or adduce evidence of any such membership, as his name does not appear on any of Triple C street or village registers of any district in any province as administered by the Triple C Bureau of Organizing. They say in the Triple C we have no such position as Secretary General or interim Secretary General as alleged by Shabango. And as the present date, none of the members of parliament who were elected under the CCC have been expelled from the party I lead or recalled from the National Assembly, or for that matter from any other elected position in Senate or any local council. It's quite sad that this is happening. I'm sure that everyone was keenly watching how the parliament was going to respond to this action by Sengezo Chabango. And obviously, we have seen a lot of comments coming through from members of Triple C in the different groups. We have also seen a lot of comments coming in from the likes of Ostalo Siziba, who is the deputy spokesperson. So we would also want to hear from you. I've posted a link, so you can click on that link and be able to come into the studio and just give us your own feeling about what exactly is going on right now. Is this something that the Triple C had foreseen earlier, to then do this correspondence that highlighted who was supposed to do the communication on behalf of the Triple C, or is it um, is it still the fuzz element that continues to be raised each time we talk about the 2023 election? What is the role of Chabangu in all of this? Is he a paid agent, as some people are assuming? And we are definitely going to keep trying getting hold of these individuals so that they clarify. But this particular stream is just to get a reaction from you. What is your view? What is it that you think is happening? What do you think the Triple C should do after this? Is it something that they should just take lying down and accept that 15 of their members have been recalled from parliament by a non Triple C member? Um, Somebody was saying they should go to court. Is that the best form of action to take at this particular juncture, in order to resolve this matter? So yes, I would want to hear from you. I would want to hear from you. What is your view concerning the issue? Yes, so um let's see who we have here. Hungwe Morise Yenyu, you may want to add your mic so that we can hear you. Hello.
Hello, Morise.
Ndiri right Morise?
Ndiri right. Wadi upenyu?
Aiwa, huri nane. Ameno imimi onekwa muri kuti kuri seiwo?
Kuri right chaizvo.
Muneiona sei nyaya iri mudariro iyi?
Nyaya iri mudariro ndiri kuiona kuti vakamira kuti shatei, nekuti CC again yabatwa pakusarongeka kwayo, because truly speaking, the party has no structures. The party has no
right. The party has no structures, so how can somebody then claim to be an interim something if there is no structure?
Munhu anogona kungomuka kubva mustreet, even a street kid unoti I am the vice president. Haina constitution inoigaidha, which is an instrument inoigaidha kuti inooperator sei. Inoisa some certain values to the organization. Saka zvinonetsa kuti even chero ma-registers avanoti tinawo ne-membership, muchaona kuti kana vakaenda kukoti havamabudisi. Saka zvinhu zvisina kurongeka, havana kugara vada kuronga in the beginning.
Inoda kudzikanwa here kuti nemumiriro wakaita Zimbabwe for example kuti muri muregister retriple C?
vanhu vanozikamwa vanoita netriple C, saka chinoita kuti vasaita maregisters chi, because maregisters you can mobilize my resources, you can mobilize funding, and also you can gauge kuti election tiri kuwina here. It's very scientific, it's an instrument inoshandisiwa. Haugesi kuti patinoenda kuma-elections tinowina here kana kuti tinorohwa, then you change the strategy. Saka ipapo ndo pane mhosvo ipapo kuti party inoti haina structure, haina chii. Saka in terms of leadership, how do you move, yeah. Saka munhu anogona kungoclaima zvaaclaima and zvinogona kunetsa kumakotsi manje, voita gore rose vachingonetsana. In what I think is President Chamisa paaitenderera achiinda kumaruwa, I think kuti vainoenda neconstitution yonoendeswa nevanhu as a starting point, but it's not the case, Saka it's a problem.
Saka imi muri kuti it's a problem because triple C haina structure, haina constitution, saka haina some form of recourse when it comes to this issue. But then when they participated in this election, they made it clear who is supposed to communicate on behalf of this entity that participated in this election. Why is it difficult for any platform or any institution to refuse to recognize the structure that they've presented, to say this is the structure that will communicate with you, instead choosing to listen to any Tom, Dick and Harry just because there is no constitution?
But sister, court inokubvunza kuti zvakanyorwa papi. Look at because muZimbabwe it's very simple. Kana tikafunga chasifushai kana kuti even in association, we craft a constitution of which kana zvikashata we go to the court, and that constitution is binding. How about a big organization like a political party? Saka koti chavabvunza manje kuti zvamoti zvakanyorwa papi, where is it zviri legally binding papi pacho, poonekwa kuti hapana.
Okay, I hear you, Hungwe. Let me give Simba an opportunity. Simba nyeri mudariro uri kuionawo sei, and what Hungwe is saying kuti because the triple C doesn't have a structure, doesn't have a constitution, saka nyaya yavo haina simba rainokwanisa kusimudza even wakaenda kucourt. Simba? Simba, are you there? Simba, are you there? All right, I just kunzwanana Mr. Simba. Maybe if you may unmute your mic. Simba? All right, anyway, whilst we wait for him to, if you want to be part of this conversation, you can just click on the link. It will bring you to the studio and we can have this conversation where we are looking at what's happening right now. The Triple C has got its members of parliament elected under its ticket, and we see Chabangu coming through with a letter purporting to recall some members who are supposedly withdrawn from the Triple C, who cease to be members of the Triple C. The allegation that the president of that party is refusing, or the leader of that party is refuting and saying whatever communication that the parliament should recognize and should receive is the communication that is coming from his offices. And Hongwe is saying kuti because Havana constitution, Havana mass structures, saka their case is going to not hold water. Why is the recall, Hongwe, by Chabangu then holding any water in the event that there is no constitution, there is no structure, and the only communication that Parliament or ZEC has been receiving is the communication that's been coming from the Triple C leader. Mr. Hungwe, can you hear me?
Uh, yeah, I can hear
Yes,
you clearly.
yes. Tibati sise ipapo toda kunzwisisa kuti why is the thinking on the basis yekuti you are arguing that triple C haina constitution haina ma structure, saka whatever arguments they will take to um court will not hold any water. And yet, Chabangus letter, which is not recognizable or recognized by the Triple C or in any communication that ZEC or Parliament has received over the last few weeks, why does it then hold water?
No, because some structures, munhu anogona kungomuka achingoclaima kuti ndechangu, ivo vaifanirwa kuisa mastructures, not mastructure acho. One of the instrument is a constitution, then you want to register kuzeki, then vonoisa kuzeki, then vonhanikira, then kana zvadero zviri nani vane a ground for defense, but apa hapana chiripo. Vanhu vakangoungana vangoti, which is very, very unfortunate. Even we also know the constitution, define, the vision of the vision, and the mission of the organization. Zvese izvozvo vanhu vakangoungana hazvipo, saka saka this issue is going to be a problem and ichanetsa. Vachagara mumacourts because of those structures. Not handiti structure, it's a strategy, but itaka zviri minimum. Ndataura kuti kana vanhu vachirejista in association, sure a big political party ingakundiwa nefushai chaicha. Fushai madzimai ekumamisha anotoziva kuti we need to do a constitution, because mangwana hatizi kuti mumwe vari kugona kutimukira, mumwe munhu ari kugona kungouya ungoclaima kuti aiwa ichi chinhu changu, yeah.
Okay, Simba, can you hear us now? I'm sure network, I think kuri kubva Simba hakunawo magetsi sekuno kuchitungwiza kusina magetsi. But all the same, I just wanted to get a reaction from you concerning what is happening right now, because a lot of people have been watching with interest to see the response of Parliament to the letter by Chabangu. And obviously, the confidence that he has is the confidence that we just have a system that will not support a mindset that is different. And I think the argument that has been put forth by a lot of people that ZANU PF is desperately seeking for that 2/3 majority. So anything that seems to challenge any triple C seat, they are going to take it up. Today, I was reading an interesting analysis in the morning concerning this why ZANU PF would want to go for another round of election, because they still have the hope of winning certain constituencies, especially the likes of Cowdrey Park, that Tuling Ngube was contesting for, the one in Mavuku Tafara for Scott Asakupanya, the one for Dzvarasekwa. Like there's that hope sort of that they want to maintain their power. And Simba, can you hear me? Simba is failing to connect with us. Waongwe muri kuiona sei analysis iri kubva muma quarters akasiyana siyana ekuti iyo ZANU PF wants to definitely take on the 2/3 majority so that they can influence the legislative agenda that was set out by the president Emerson Mnangagwa on opening the 10th parliament this year.
Yeah, it's politics, my sister. In
Mm,
politics, you must close all the loopholes are not going to expose, So in politics, the opposition in Zimbabwe must migrate and move to maturity and stop, the blame game, what zvazodai zvikazodai. Of course, ZANU-PF is a party, inotarirawo pama-loopholes. Kana pane loophole yakadai, we have been writing in the press, warning Chamisa, President Chamisa, why don't we have,
mm.
why are you very ignorant with our ultimate structures? These are some of the simple things, but look izvezvi kwaane nyaya yacho,
But
saka
tichingamiririra kunzwa munhu anoudzwa here how to run their own household nemunhu wepanext door.
pane zvinhu zviri basic, pane zvinhu zviri
Mm.
basic, pane zvinhu zviri
So
simple
basic
zvinoti
according to
munhu
who?
basic in common knowledge, common standards, yeah, common standards in a society. Pane zvinhu zviri basic zvokuti iwe chero ukafunga kuita kambani yako, what comes in your mind is ndofanirwa kuita mapepa, kana mukafunga kuita
Mm,
association kana kuti
mm,
cooperative,
mm.
ndofanirwa kuita mapepa. Saka those basic simple things hapana, saka you find kuti zvinobva zvaexpose apart. And politics, it's not a church, it's about my opportunity, it's about
When people, I
what
always
is
actually cringe when people say politics is not a church. What is it? Are you saying that in churches there are no structures, there's no
there,
constitution, there's nothing like
there are
that?
kuchechi kune ma-structures, but
Uh,
there is a lot of grace there, nekunzirana
okay, Mr. Gideon, uchakujoina chimbotipirawo
CCC
about what's happening. Gideon,
Hello.
yes, we can hear you. Can you tell us your own opinion about this present happening?
In language, I just think with also President Nelson Chamisa has to learn from these things, because ZANU-PF will take advantage, every advantage they have, they will take against him, because they know that at the moment upon a constitution, so they've got guys working in Mashuro and to try and find all those loopholes. 'Cause like the other caller said, Kuti, anyone can just wake up saying, "No, but I'm the vice president of Triple C. I am so and so." And this guy, Agati, I am the secretary general. You knew Kuti, that's the most powerful post with any political organization. And
Mm,
now it's too late to rectify and knowing the politics of Zimbabwe very well, and
mm-hmm.
even the later the Speaker of Parliament, I don't think anything you'll be able to act anyhow. Could you reface this whole story thing? Thank you very much.
Mm, thank you very much. So it's basically our politics, which is a bit toxic, that then makes it difficult or impossible for others to participate on the same, footing. I think one of the cartoons that we did prior to the election was just looking at the landscape, the political landscape available in our country to say, is th- is the playing field level enough to allow for players to participate in the election itself without suffering casualties. And I think our fears as a people, our fears same institutions are called to be able to deal with those situations. So, how urgent is the Zimbabwean situation? Could this be a dynamic that can actually shift back attention to Zimbabwe to then say what exactly is going on? I have Simba here. Simba, are you now able to talk to us? Not really. Hungwe, munoona sei nyaya yekuti probably what's happening now is going to reshift focus on Zimbabwe, from other so many demanding things that are happening in the region, demanding the attention of the likes of SADC, the AU. Is this likely going to shift again the landscape in Zimbabwe to refocus on our election and electoral processes? Mr. Hungwe. All right, seems I have lost my guest there in the turns. Network is a bit hard to get by, but all the same, I just wanted us to look at what's happening. Anzina Israel Jagada, that parliament is for ZANU PF. Remember what they did during the election of the Speaker of the House. That is total nonsense per se. How can an honorable speaker accept that rubbish from an individual without the authority from the leader of the said party, which is really worrisome? Or maybe this is the concern that Wungwe and Gideon have been raising um, to then say we have a challenge when it comes to our politics, which is a bit on the toxic side. And looking at the facts of the matter is not one of our strong components as a country. It's not a very strong area as a an entity as a whole, and that becomes a serious challenge that we have. But then again, there could be a silver lining in the whole matter. Per adventure, this is going to be that opportunity where the Zimbabwean issue is coming back onto the map, because it's unfortunate that such strategies that you would not expect to hold water, they continue to hold water in Zimbabwe. And na Eno Gondo, it's a dirty strategy for ZANU PF in order for them to sideline Triple C, for them to have a two-thirds majority in the parliament, since we are ahead of the SADC summit this month, for them to exit the SADC. It's going to be interesting to watch what's going to happen. We are going to try and get a comment from the Triple C. We're also hoping to get a comment from Chabangu to also understand what he is standing on. What is it that gives him the audacity to want to challenge what the people have been fighting for since before the elections? And now that we are gone past elections, who is he to claim that these said individuals have um, have moved away from the Triple C? Are we still talking about the Triple C under the leadership of Advocate Nelson Chamisa, or are we talking about the proxy Triple Cs that were formed prior to the elections? Where does he come into the matrix? Of course, we have read that he was part of the people who were signing for candidates in Bulawayo region, but where does he come into the matrix? Bulawayo regions. And so we want to know what is going to be unfolding in the next few coming days. So yes, thank you so much for tuning in for this small debrief moment where we just wanted to look at what's happening and what your views are as a people, your reaction to this news and information. And yes, of course, we will be following through with the terms of the Constitution. What does it mean for somebody to have withdrawn from a party that is technically uh, non-existent in terms of constitution or structures that are known by the world, vis-a-vis the structure or the structure of communication that the Triple C has communicated to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission as well as the Parliament of Zimbabwe, to say any communication regarding our members of Parliament is expected to come from this office. And then we see Mudenda acting on the letter that was sent to him by somebody who is virtually unknown in the structures of the mainstream Triple C. So yes, this is what's happening on our political landscape. And yes, a lot of people have been asking, what is happening? When are we going to see the change? What is the plan that is in place? Well, we wait to see how this particular activity or event is going to move us in the next coming weeks. This is Yvonne Muchaka on Zimbabwe Daily. It's been a pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for tuning in this late to just take a look at what's been happening. Have a pleasant rest of day and good night to you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to my panelists, Se Hungwe, who joined me, and Gideon. Thank you so much for coming through. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of evening. It's goodbye for now.